Story 1. Static at the empty bar. I was supposed to meet Aaron there. He bailed last minute. Said his stomach was acting up. Should have left then. But I'd already ordered my second gin and tonic, and the place was oddly calm for a Thursday night. Canal Street never sleeps. But this dive bar, low ceiling, sticky floors. A jukebox from the 70s had a way of feeling like it existed slightly outside of time. That's when the lights dimmed. Just a blink at first, then everything went black. Not even that warm hum of electricity behind the walls. Just silence, thick, unnatural. I remember blinking fast, waiting for my eyes to adjust, when I heard the jukebox click. It groaned, stuttered, Dan, then a slow waltz began, like something you'd hear at a haunted prom. The bartender stopped mid-pour, whiskey bottle hovering. His eyes didn't meet mine. They locked on something behind me, unmoving. I turned, slowly, half expecting a drunk to be messing around. But the mirror, just empty stools, still. I swear I felt breath, right on my neck. I didn't move. The jukebox kept playing that slow, haunting melody, like it was struggling to breathe between each note. The bartender backed into the shelves, knocking over a row of tumblers without reacting. His eyes locked onto the mirror. I wanted to say something, ask if he was okay, but my throat felt dry, tight, like something was pressing from the inside. I turned back to face the room directly. Nothing, no breathing, no motion, just me and that goddamn waltz. The air smelled weird, like wet copper and burnt fabric. I pulled out my phone to check the time to 41 a.m. and saw the screen glitch for a second. Just static. Not the loading kind, the old analog kind. Gray fuzz. It lasted barely to seconds, but I swear I heard a whisper buried in the sound. I looked up. The lights were still out, but something about the dark had changed. It wasn't black anymore. It was gray, dim, like the room was being lit by a static screen. And the mirror, the bar behind me, looked brighter inside it, sharper. I stepped closer, trying to spot the light source, but what I saw instead made my jaw lock. There was someone sitting at the farthest stool, inside the mirror, legs crossed, back straight, wearing something old-fashioned like what you'd wear to a funeral in the 50s. Only, there were no reflections of that stool in the real room, just emptiness. I spun around again. That stool empty, turned back to the mirror. The figure was still there. I backed away slowly, didn't take my eyes off the mirror. Every step I took, the figure stayed perfectly still. But the mirror itself, something about it felt wrong. Like it wasn't reflecting anymore, just watching. I reached the bar's exit, grabbed the handle, and the damn jukebox glitched. The waltz slowed to a crawl, then reversed. A distorted voice, like it was humming backwards. I stopped. My hand froze on the doorknob. The bartender was gone, just gone. No sound, no motion, no exit door swinging. I scanned the room, empty, except for me and the figure, still sitting calmly in the mirror. I stared. It tilted its head, just a fraction, enough to feel deliberate, enough to feel personal. My breath caught, tight in my chest, and the stool beneath the figure, it scraped forward. I heard my own heartbeat now, loud, like it had taken over the silence. The jukebox fizzled and popped, skipping beats like a broken record. I stepped back toward the bar, eyes locked on the mirror. The stool scraped again closer. I didn't want to blink, didn't want to lose sight of it, but my eyes stung, my vision blurred, and for a split second, the figure disappeared. Then it was behind me, not in the mirror behind me. I felt the air move, the temperature drop, sudden and sharp, like ice curling along my spine. I turned, slow, trembling. There was nothing there, just the bar, just the mirror. But now the figure had moved to the second stool, closer. My throat tightened. I whispered hello, not expecting an answer. Something whispered back. I bolted for the door, yanked it hard. It didn't move, like the wood had sealed shut. The jukebox distorted again, a high screech pouring through the speakers. then cutting off mid-sound. I turned back, and the mirror was shattered, but not broken glass shattered reflection. The world inside looked split, fractured, like someone had ripped through it, and in the shards I saw myself. Dozens of versions, each one sitting in a stool, each one frozen in place. Eyes wide, breathing heavy, staring at me. I couldn't scream, couldn't run. The lights flickered one last time. The bar went dead silent, and I swear, just before it all vanished, one version of me blinked, but I didn't. If anyone's ever seen their own reflection move first, please say something, please. I don't think I ever left the bar. Story 2. The wrong song played. I wasn't even supposed to be out that night. I just wrapped a shoot in Silver Lake, neck sore, eyes burning from hours behind the lens. My editing backlog was piling up, and I needed caffeine more than sleep. So I ended up in that lounge on Alvarado Street, the one tucked between a tattoo parlor and a closed-down florist. It wasn't fancy, but it had Wi-Fi and booths. I've been there a dozen times. It never fell off. Until last night, the song started low. So low I felt it before I heard it, like static under my skin. At first I thought the speakers were glitching. Then came the strings, slow, warped, bending like they were being pulled apart. I looked around. Everyone had frozen. A couple on the far wall had stopped mid-conversation, glasses halfway to their lips. A guy by the jukebox stood stiff, blinking too much. No one said anything. That silence, it hummed louder than the music. I leaned toward the bar. The bartender, slim guy, arm tattoos fading into freckles, looked like he'd just seen a ghost. I mouthed, "What is this?" He didn't answer right away, just stared past me. Then he took one step back, then another. His voice cracked when he said, "It wasn't supposed to play again." That's when the exit door slammed shut, hard, like something massive had yanked it closed. The music swelled, more strings, more static, and something underneath, a scraping sound, rhythmic, like dragging fingernails over wood. The air felt heavier. I tried to stand, felt dizzy. Everyone was still frozen, but their eyes had shifted, all of them, staring straight, ahead, not at me, past me. I turned slowly. There was nothing behind me, just the hallway to the restrooms, dark, quiet, but I swear, I heard someone breathing, too close, too low. I pulled out my phone to record, just instinct, but the camera wouldn't focus, kept jittering, jumping to the corners like it was tracking something I couldn't see. I pointed it toward the hallway. Nothing, just shadows swallowing shadows. Then, a flicker, one frame, a figure, bare shoulders, head tilted, mouth open to wide, like it was screaming, but no sound came through. I gasped, tried to rewind. The file was gone, just static. The bartender was crying, not sobbing, crying, silently, with that distant look people get when remembering something they've tried to forget. I grabbed his arm, shook him. "What the hell is going on?" He didn't answer, just pointed toward the old jukebox, the one no one ever uses. Its light was flickering. The song was still playing, but slower now, like a reel winding down. I walked toward it. Every step felt wrong, like the floor was pulsing under my feet. The jukebox screen was cracked. This covered half the buttons. I didn't touch it, just stared as the display flickered between song titles. Most were familiar, except one. No artist name, no track time, just 3 words. IT's. Not done. And as I watched, the glow turned blood red. The song shifted again, higher pitch, like someone winding piano wire to tight. Then, the smell, sharp, metallic, like pennies in ozone. No one else reacted, like they'd gone somewhere I couldn't follow. That's when the mirror cracked. Not shattered, cracked. Just one clean line down the center of the big wall mirror behind the bar. I hadn't seen my reflection since the song started, but I look now, and I swear, my face twitched before I did. Just a flicker. My eyes widened in the glass. I didn't move. I couldn't breathe. Then it smiled. My reflection smiled. While I stood frozen, and for a moment, its eyes weren't mine. They were hollow, too wide, waiting. I stumbled back from the mirror. The booth closest to me, empty seconds ago, now had someone sitting in it, or something. I couldn't look directly. My vision kept slipping, like whatever it was didn't want to be seen. I blinked hard. It was wearing a suit to clean. Hands flat on the table. No face, just a blurring static where the head should be. I wanted to scream, but nothing came out. My throat clenched like I was holding something in. Something ancient. The song finally stopped. Just cut off. Mid-note. No fade out. No ending. The silence was worse. Everyone stood at once. Every single person in that lounge stood up, slow, synchronized, like puppets waiting for the next string to pull. I backed toward the exit, but it wouldn't budge. Locked. I turned to the bartender. Gone. Just a smear of something wet on the floor where he'd stood. My knees buckled. I don't even know how I stayed conscious. But then it whispered. It whispered from the speakers, from the walls, from inside my own teeth. A voice like rust grinding through velvet, low, slow, curling up behind my ears. You heard it, now you belong to it. I wanted to tear my skin off, to run, to disappear. But every door was gone, just walls where they used to be. I felt something press against my back, but when I spun around, nothing was there, just that empty booth, and the static humming inside. My skull. I don't know how. I got out. I woke up in my car, parked blocks away, key still in the ignition, shirt soaked through like I'd been swimming. No one's picking up at the lounge. I called 3 times. The website's down. I checked the music app I use. The song doesn't exist. Not in any database. Not in any archive. So please, if you've ever heard something like it, if the wrong song played and everyone around you changed, I need to know. I need to know I'm not the only one. Please, say something. Story 3. Music that wasn't on the playlist. I know how this sounds. A DJ spooked by a weird song in the middle of the night. But it wasn't the music itself that messed with me. It was how it settled into the room, like it had always been playing, like it had been waiting. I work part-time at a rooftop bar in Brooklyn. It's mellow, mostly ambient sets, couples clinking glasses, skyline lit up like a soft hum. The kind of place where nothing happens. That's what I liked about it. Last Friday, things shifted, not dramatically, just wrong enough. I was finishing my 3rd set, feeling the usual blend of caffeine and exhaustion. The lights flickered once, no big deal. But then the sound system hiccuped. Not static, not silence, something slower. Off-key jazz, layered with glitch. Effects, like a tape that's warped but intentional. I hadn't loaded it. I checked the screen. No track name. Just a pulsing symbol I didn't recognize. White, circular, breathing. Then I looked up. No one was dancing anymore. They were staring, not confused, not annoyed, just blank. I thought maybe I'd hit some shortcut on the controller, something technical. So I started scrolling through the system, trying to override the track, but the interface wasn't responding. Every input just blinked, then vanished. I unplugged the deck. The music kept playing. It was slower now, like syrup over static. Someone at the edge of the crowd tilted their head, eyes locked on me, but blank, like I was supposed to be doing something. Behind the bar, the staff weren't moving either, just standing, waiting. Then I heard it, a whisper behind my left ear. I turned fast, expecting a drunken patron or one of my friends playing around. No one was there. But I swear, the voice didn't sound human. It rasped like it had been trapped in dust. You brought it back. That's what it said. I spun in every direction, heart thumping, and everyone was still staring. Not scared, not angry, just watching me. I backed toward the exit, but the door had vanished from the panel. Just wall, just brick. I tried yelling, at the crowd, at the bar staff, at the silence. But my voice felt swallowed, not echoed, not ignored, just devoured by the room. I reached for my phone, but the screen was dim, not off, just dim enough that I couldn't read it. When I lifted it up, the blinking symbol appeared there too, same pulsing shape. No apps, no signal, just that. I swear I felt something move. Behind me, not a person, air shifting, like the space rearranged itself. I grabbed my bag, full of cables and gear I didn't care about anymore, and bolted for the side staircase. That exit was still there, thank God, as I ran down. The music got louder, like the building was playing it, not from my rig, not from any speaker. It echoed through the pipes, hissed through the vents, a slow, dragging bass line that sounded wet. It stuck to the walls. When I reached the alley, everything was dead quiet. No cars, no wind, just that sound, still playing from inside. I didn't go home that night. I couldn't. I walked for miles, just trying to drown the sound in my head with wind, footsteps, anything. I checked the playlist files again when I finally stopped at a 24-hour diner. Nothing had changed, except one entry was gone, not replaced. Just missing entirely. No trace of it, no cache, no backup. But that symbol was still in the system. Memory. I swear I never downloaded anything like it. I've been Jing for 5 years. I know my collection better than I know myself. The next day, I asked around. Bartender said the system shorted out and none of the audio played after 1:50 a.m. Told me the rooftop emptied early. Said I packed up and left without saying a word. But I didn't. I remember the whisper, the frozen faces, that stare. I checked the security cameras. They only showed me standing alone for 30 full minutes. No crowd, no music, no movement, just me, watching something I couldn't see. That night, I tried deleting the symbol from my phone. I wiped the cache, reset the apps, even tried reinstalling the OS. Nothing worked. The symbol stayed. But now, it was moving, not fast, just a gentle pulse, like a breath. And somehow it started sensing with mine. Inhale, pause, exhale. It felt intimate, invasive, like something was learning me. By midnight, the music started again, not loud, not external. It was inside, in my ears, beneath the skull. A slow just distortion that made no sense melodically, but carried weight, like it remembered something I didn't. I started wondering if anyone else had heard it. I posted anonymously in a forum for sound engineers, got replies about codec errors, firmware glitches, but none of that explained the whisper, or the faces, or how the rooftop vanished from online listings the next day. No address, no reviews, no trace. The bar just stopped existing. One guy messaged me privately, said he'd seen the same symbol. Don't play it twice, he wrote. Not if you want to stay here. I asked what that meant. He blocked me instantly. I haven't DJ'd since that night. I've tried to avoid music altogether, but sounds creep in anyway. Ambient echoes that turn sour. Phone notifications that stretched along. Yesterday, I swear I heard the jazz again. From a Bluetooth speaker I hadn't paired. It played one note, distorted and deep, then stopped. Nothing showed in the connection history. I unplugged everything. Still felt it in my chest. I don't know how it's following me, but it is. And every night, right around the 41 a.m., something flickers outside my window. Tonight, it happened again. The lights dimmed. My phone blinked, that symbol, pulsing, closer. I locked the door, turned off all sound, sat in the dark. It didn't matter. I still heard it, low, twisted, familiar now, like I was supposed to remember it. And I think I did. A set I played years ago, something from an old vinyl. I couldn't identify. I digitized it, tagged it blank. Maybe I uploaded it once. Maybe I let it loose. God, What did I bring back? I've stopped sleeping. I keep the lights on. I unplug every speaker. But something still hums beneath it all. The rhythm, the breathing, the memory. I think it's trying to become something else. Clearer, more present, like it needs me. To play it again. Like I'm the amplifier. Sometimes, when I close my eyes, I see the rooftop, but it's empty. All the lights are dead. And in the center, that symbol pulses, waiting. There's no file, no track, just something trying to get through. If anyone's heard it, the jizz distortion, the rhythm with no name, please tell me I'm not the only one. I don't care if you believe me. I just want to know. Does it ever stop? Or is this what it becomes? Something you live with. Feel inside. I haven't touched my gear in days. But the sound, it still plays. Every night. At 2:41 a.m. If you felt it, if you've heard it, say something. Before it decides I need to play it again. Story 4. Power out at Lou's Tavern. I was exhausted. The kind of tired that makes your vision blur and your thoughts hum. Just one beer. I told myself, just enough to quiet the ringing in my ears. Lou's Tavern looked older than I remembered. Dim, sticky floors. The smell of fried oil clinging to the wood. I like places like that. Places where no one asks questions, where people disappear into booths and stay invisible. I sat by the jukebox, halfway hidden in shadow. I was halfway through the drink when the air changed. Not colder, but thinner, somehow. Like someone had sucked the oxygen from the room and left it hollow. Then came the sound, a pop soft, like a wire snapped inside the wall, and the music started. High-pitched, fuzzy, a slow, crooning voice, half lost in static. Every head turned toward the speakers. Every person stopped moving, like their memories had been jolted away. Everyone except me. The guy beside me leaned close. I could smell something metallic on his breath, like rust. His voice trembled. They always come back when it plays. I blinked. What? My hand gripped the edge of the bar. But when I turned, the guy was gone. So was everyone. Tables left half finished. A purse on a chair. Smoke still curling from an abandoned cigarette near the jukebox. It was like the room had inhaled everyone and left the skin of their lives behind. I stood up, slow, like the room might punish me for moving too fast. My footsteps echoed louder than they should have. I reached for my phone, but the screen was black, not dead, just black. I pressed the side button, nothing. The song kept playing, louder now, more warped, like it was melting into itself. The voice moaned a note that stretched too long. My throat went dry. I kept looking at the door, thinking someone would walk back in. No one did. I moved toward the entrance, but the door wouldn't open. The handle turned. It clicked, but the door stayed shut, like it was locked from the other side. I knocked, first gently, then harder. Hello. No answer. Just the song, now looping. The warped lullaby voice crawling into my ears. I tried another door near the bathrooms. Same thing. Locked. No windows. No signal. Just me. And that voice. The jukebox screen flickered. Static. Then a list of songs I didn't recognize. Each title was gibberish, symbols, or fractured words. I touched one, just to see. The screen pulsed red, then returned to static. A smell crept in. Not smoke, not alcohol. Something sweet, sickly sweet. Like overripe fruit left to rot in a closed room. I backed away. My legs trembled. The shadows seemed longer now, stretching across the floor like they were reaching. I heard a chair creak, just once. I spun around, expecting someone, anything. But the room was still empty, still wrong. The walls looked darker now, like the paint itself had soured. I approached the bar again, hoping maybe the back door was open. That's when I saw the picture. It hadn't been there before. A framed photo, crooked on the wall, showing a group of people, all dressed like the ones I had seen minutes ago. But their eyes, every single one, closed, like they'd been caught mid-blink. or buried. I backed away too fast and stumbled into a table. My knee hit something soft. I looked down. A coat. Still warm. I touched it, and I swear, for half a second, I heard breathing. Right next to my ear. I turned. No one. Just that song again. Slower now. Melting into whispers. It was speaking. No words I could understand. Just vowels stretched and broken. I pressed my palms to my ears. Didn't help. It was inside me. I ran toward the storage door behind the bar. It gave way with a creak, revealing a hallway I didn't remember. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, dim and flickering. There were pictures lining the walls, all black and white, all of people with their backs turned. No faces. I walked past them, slowly, heart pounding. At the end of the hall was a mirror. I stopped. My reflection. It didn't match me. It was smiling, just barely. A soft curl at the corner of its lips. While my face stayed frozen, I lifted my hand. It did too, but slower, as if it had to think first. I whispered, "Hello?" The lights above me snapped once, then again. I turned to run, but the hallway had changed. Shorter now. The pictures were gone. The smell returned. Stronger, like something rotting behind walls. I heard footsteps behind me, but no shadow followed. I made it back into the tavern, but it wasn't the same. The jukebox was gone, so were the tables. Just bare walls now, and one chair, facing a corner. I didn't sit. I couldn't. Something was humming from deep underground, like wires straining under pressure. I opened my mouth to scream, but no sound came. Just static, dry and bitter. The kind that coats your throat and makes you feel hollow. My phone blinked once, a single red dot in the corner of the screen. Then it vanished. I'm out now, I think. But something followed me home. The smell. It's faint, but still there. That song. It's not playing anymore. Not exactly. But sometimes, when it's quiet, I hear pieces of it. Fragments. The croon. The whisper. Please. If anyone's ever been inside Lou's Tavern, or heard the music, tell me something. Anything. I need to know I didn't imagine it. I need to know I'm not the only one. Story 5. That one night at Hugo's I shouldn't have gone in alone. But when I travel, I make a point of doing things you're not supposed to. Take wrong turns. Say yes to strange invites. Trust places that smell slightly like mildew and stale whiskey. Hugo's wasn't on any map, just a red door under flickering. Signage. It was late, just spilled out like steam, and I let myself get pulled inside. It was intimate, dim thick with cigarette haze and saxophone solos. Locals only. The kind that give backpackers a polite nod and then pretend you don't exist. I ordered a cheap beer, sat near the stage. 12 minutes to midnight. The bartender killed the lights without warning. No announcement, no reaction, like it was routine. Then that song started. Low piano chords and a woman's humming. Broken, breathy, like she was remembering something awful. Conversation stopped instantly. Not paused, stopped. At first, I thought it was some weird local tradition, like a tribute or inside joke only the regulars understood. But when I leaned over to the guy next to me and whispered, "Hey, what's the song?" He didn't even blink. His jaw was clenched so tight I could see the muscle twitching. One tear rolled down his cheek, slow and deliberate, like it was being pulled from somewhere deep. Something was wrong. Very wrong. The humming grew louder. Not layered or melodic, just raw and mournful, like grief turned into sound. It made my chest tighten. Every person in that bar was frozen, eyes either shut or wide open, locked on nothing. Even the bartender had stopped moving. I called out, seriously, "What is this?" Louder this time. No answer. Then the stage lights flickered once, just once, and in that blink, there was a shadow behind the piano, a silhouette. Not seated, standing. I stood up, maybe too fast. The stool clattered backward and still. No one flinched. I thought about leaving, but the door was across the room, past dozens of silent strangers, past the piano, past her, because now I could see her, just her back, standing in a sequin dress that shimmered despite the low light. Her shoulders trembled with each breath, or maybe with each note. The humming was hers. She didn't move, not once, but the sound shifted, closer, louder, sharper. It felt like it was inside my head. My nose stung like bleach. I wiped at it and saw a smear of blood on my wrist. That's when I realized the music wasn't coming from the speakers. It was nowhere and everywhere. I turned to the bartender. His eyes were open, glazed, but locked onto something above the bar. The mirror. And in the mirror, she was facing me. I looked over my shoulder. Nothing. But the mirror didn't lie. Her face was turned toward me, pale, expressionless, lips slightly parted, still humming. My heart dropped into my stomach. I don't remember deciding to move, but somehow I was across the room, fumbling at the front door. Locked, I shoved, yanked. Nothing. The music kept playing. Same 3 chords, same voice. I screamed. I swear I did. No one looked. Then I saw him. That same guy from earlier. The one who cried. He was standing now. Slow, stiff. He walked toward the stage like his feet weren't his. I banged on the glass again. Useless. When I turned back, he was inches from her. He didn't say a word. Just placed a hand on her shoulder. And for the first time, she stopped humming. The silence that followed felt heavier than the music. The man stepped onto the stage, hand still on her shoulder. She turned to face him, not slowly, not smoothly. Her head snapped around like something mechanical. Her face was calm, still humming. Though no sound came out anymore, he whispered something. I couldn't hear it, but his mouth kept moving. Then he started to hum with her, off-key, same breathy tone, same rhythm. Tears streamed down his face, and his hands began to tremble, like he was being hollowed out from the inside. I backed away, hands searching for anything. A window, a latch, something to break. I grabbed a stool and swung it at the glass. It bounced back like rubber. Not a crack, not a sound. Behind me, more people had begun to stand. All of them, humming, quietly. The melody spreading like a sickness. But none of them moved toward the stage. They just turned toward me, faces blank, eyes wide, still humming. That's when I realized I wasn't trapped in the bar. I was inside the song. I curled into myself behind the bar, ears ringing, breath shallow. My pulse didn't match my heartbeat anymore. The humming was loud now, deafening, but my body felt frozen, like it couldn't respond to panic. Everyone was humming. The song kept shifting keys, distorting, bending in ways music shouldn't. I closed my eyes. It didn't help. The melody was inside me, vibrating through my spine. Then, nothing. It stopped. Just like that. I blinked, and they were all back, at their tables, laughing, drinking. The lights were normal again, but no one looked at me. No one acknowledged anything. I got up slowly, walked out into the street, and threw up in a trash bin. I checked my phone. Midnight, exactly. And I swear, when I replay the voice memo I'd accidentally recorded inside, I still hear the humming. Just her, just me. If anyone's ever heard something like this, please say something. I need to know I'm not the online one.